The three experiences that I find are most common that get sexualized, meaning instead of processing the feeling, it's just needing some way to be expressed, and that comes out sexually, is fear, shame, and loss. And I'm going to specifically address what that might look like when you're a man sexually attracted to other men and you find yourself like magnetically pulled towards sexual experiences with other men. There are often not causes, but significant contributors that can be really helpful to name. So let's start with fear. For some guys, it's the fear of men, included fully in a community of boys or men, or having really negative experiences with men and being afraid of them. So those sexual things you fantasize about may symbolize safety. It may symbolize safety from certain men or from women altogether. Maybe the very guy that I'm afraid of, maybe he's extremely muscular, becomes the focus of my fantasy, and the fantasy gives me kind of a safe way to have that guy. Whereas in real life, I'd be terrified. So fear is a big one, and we can use that to understand how our fantasies might symbolize safety. Another one is shame. The qualities that I believe I lack are often the exact ones that I will totally zero in on sexually. So for me, I have always had a lot of shame about my teeth. And the type of person that I would fantasize about has a very beautiful smile. So this is the point where I feel shame. And the fantasy, in a way, is promising to remove my shame by giving me that thing that I feel like I don't have. Shame can be sexualized. What we fantasize about can symbolize glory. And then the last one is loss and connection. It could also be described as grief and connection. What we fantasize about often symbolizes what we have lost or what we have never had. In my story, the theme of braces goes back to middle school, the worst time in my life. And for many of us, the worst time of our lives. But for me in particular, and the first few orgasms that I ever had really burned into my brain. And I sexually imprinted on the girls that I almost was able to connect with in middle school and just got stuck there. My sexual development really got stunted. So the things that we have never had or the things that we've had and then lost can be sexualized. So perhaps it was a best friend from the past who you lost, or the best friend you never had who you always wish you had can be the focus of a sexual fantasy. There are endless variations on this. It could be a father figure. It could be belonging in a group, maybe a bunch of guys masturbating in a circle, symbolizing that kind of peer connection that I either had and then lost for some reason or never had.